Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Welcome to Spaghetti on the Wall. I am clearly not Armando Ledoux. My name is Dean West, and on this episode, I am joined by Aleric Heck, founder and CEO of AdOutreach and KeywordSearch.com, and one of the top YouTube ad experts in the world. A 3 times Inc. 5000 entrepreneur, Aleric has helped scale over 3,000 businesses using the power of video and AI, and we are going to dig into how YouTube ads are outperforming traditional ad strategies, why most people fail with this video marketing, and how AI is reshaping online growth. So, all that being said, let's get into this. What's up, man?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on, Dean. I'm excited. This is gonna be
Absolutely, man. I was looking through some of the bio and the stuff you've been doing, and I'm like, oh man, I'm just gonna let him talk.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's start from the beginning and give me kind of a breakdown of what was the first ad that you kind of started playing with and got up there and were like, holy crap, I can do this.
It's actually a funny story because I've been on YouTube now over 16 years. I actually just made a post. I've done 5,700 YouTube videos.
Wow.
Over the last 16 years. Yeah. So pretty crazy. And that includes short form content as well. So, but basically weekly long form videos essentially every week for maybe there's a couple weeks I missed here and there, especially early on. But, definitely for the last at least the last decade, it was very consistent. And I originally started out with an app review tech channel. So this was 16 years ago. And I was actually pretty young at the time. So I was doing this in high school and into college.
How old are you now?
I'm 28. Yeah, so exactly.
That's amazing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Come on. 3 times Inc. 5000. You're under 25. That's
28.
Under 30. That's 30, still, yeah. Woo, good job, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I'm happy to be chatting with your brilliant mind today. So let it rip.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so basically I started out the YouTube channel and suddenly, the channel started to take off. I was doing app reviews, tech tutorials, like teaching people how to use their iPhone. This is the early days of YouTube. So I started out in 2009. And I remember I did a video, like it was the iPhone 4 Complete Beginner's Guide. And that video just went viral. And then that kind of really helped grow the channel from there. And I got into the YouTube Partner Program, was one of the early people into that. I started getting sponsorships, had all these apps like sponsoring my channel. And like I said, I was doing that in high school. I was doing that in college. In college, I ended up hiring a video editor, script writer, some of my other, friends from college.
Yeah.
Kind of funny, but, video editor, script writer, business development, like person to answer emails. And one day I had one of the apps that was sponsoring my channel and sponsored a video. They paid me money to do a video about the app. They get a bunch of downloads. They come back and they say, this is amazing. Can you post that same video next week? We want to double our downloads. And I had to tell them, right? I had to break the news that it doesn't work that way. It's like same thing. You can't just post like a podcast, the exact same podcast episode the next week. Like it doesn't work, right? But I said, well, what if we take that and they were going to pay me like $500, whatever. What if we take that same $500 and we put it into a YouTube ad? And they were a little skeptical. And this was actually exactly like 10 years ago. This was back in 2015. But they agreed to it. And so I ran a YouTube ad to that video featuring that app, and then they get thousands more downloads. So now they're blown away. They're like, this is amazing. So they start telling their friends, real word of mouth, right? They tell their friends, their developers, and they hire us, to do, or hire me. I mean, not us at that time.
Yeah, because you can only imagine $500 are like,
I know. Well, yeah, they're like, okay, how much can we scale this? So we were
no kidding.
And then the second client that I had $1,000 a day budget. So and they became a unicorn company too. I can't, but this is some of the details there. But like it was pretty crazy. I wasn't working directly with them. It was a performance marketing company, was like an intermediary. But it was really cool. And so actually, that performance marketing company, they called me up. And they wanted me to drop out of college, like fly out to Silicon Valley, join their team. And I turned it down. I decided I wanted to build this myself, and be that, entrepreneur. And if they were willing to do that, I knew that I had something.
Right.
That's when I created AdOutreach. Originally it was YouTube ads for mobile apps, but then very shortly thereafter, it turned into YouTube ads for all kinds of different businesses. Nowadays we work with a lot of, experts, professionals, consultants, so anywhere from like coaches to consultants to, accountants and lawyers and different people like that basically are trying to get in front of high quality leads using the power of YouTube ads. And that's basically what we've built since then. There's obviously, I skipped over a little bit, but and get on the Inc. 5000, some of the different stuff. But yeah, we scaled up a lot. Now we got a team, little less than 30 people, and we're looking to continue to grow.
That's amazing. So along this path, give me one tidbit that as you were doing this, that really kind of just changed your perspective. Like obviously you've had thousands of integrations of learning to do this better and better and better. And now you guys murder it. But what was like one of the first things that you were like a quick aha moment that just shifted this?
Yeah, I think the big aha moment was realizing that people on YouTube, you have the ability to reach people when they have intent. So people are going on YouTube looking to learn. So somebody could go on YouTube and they could be searching for, let's just use an example. If somebody is a nutritionist or, a fitness instructor, or trainer, personal trainer.
Yeah.
If somebody's searching how to lose weight, how to get fit, how to get in shape, what food should I eat? Well, if you get in front of them with a YouTube ad, you're reaching them at the perfect time. If somebody's looking up, things around finding like legal advice, right? Like on YouTube, well, you're going to get in front of them. They're going to need a lawyer at a certain point. You get in front of them at that perfect time. So the thing is, it has high intent. And so you can reach people at the right time with the right message. And that's really the key to marketing. So that was the big aha moment versus other platforms. People are just kind of scrolling, right? It's like Facebook, Instagram, we all do it. And I'm not saying those don't work. I'm just saying that YouTube ads tend to outperform because you have intent. Now, Google search is valuable too, but the problem is you don't have a video and everybody and their uncle runs Google search ads. So things can get really expensive. You could target the exact same keywords on YouTube and reach people with a video and get high intent leads at a lower cost.
Yeah, because with Google, now you're even dealing with, combating with AI and its breakdown initially and all the other stuff. What would you say is one of like the main reasons people tend to just fail? Because, they pay for one ad and they're like, this doesn't work, and move on.
Yeah. So one of the big reasons that people will fail or they'll, not be able to get the success that they want is there's two kind of big ones. One is on the content side, and that's not actually providing value in the ad. A big thing, especially with businesses where there is an expert or a face, or it's a service or coaching or consulting, or something like that. You need to provide the credibility and expertise that your business offers. Same thing, by the way, if you have products or, a more or a software or app, you want to demonstrate how that works. But if you, let's say it's a professional services business or a consulting business, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are actually providing value and showing why you're different than everybody else out there. Because the problem is, if you're just the same, or if you just say, hey, do you have this problem? Okay, go book a call with me. People are going to say, okay, but you're just like every other person.
Yeah.
But if you say, hey, do you have this problem? Well, honestly, a lot of what you see out there isn't giving you the best advice. Here's misconception number 1, number 2, and number 3. What you should really do instead is this. And that's actually what we help people with. And that's what makes us different at our company. So click a link, book a call, and we'll show you how that works.
Yeah. Okay. So let's give a quick breakdown. Say I'm doing a new app that helps your business find people looking on the app for that specific thing. And, the app's kind of aimed towards people looking for the right kind of food that evening, a Grubby Hub kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a breakdown of like, here's the setup that you need to keep in mind specifically for that one, but obviously it kind of works across depending on your, your specific area. So don't take our Grubhub idea if you run a workout gym, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you have a video based around that, right? So let's say it's like the Grubby Hub, that's a version of that.
We'll get real specific. I like where you're going. So it's going to be called Grubby Hubby, and
Grubby Hubby. All right.
It's for the men. It also gives you a meter. It's for the men. It gives you specific questions to ask your wife. of how you can actually nail down a place instead of, oh, whatever you want. And then you have the wrong spot. So Grubby Hubby.
All right, Grubby Hubby. All right. So what you would do is you'd have a hook that pulls people in, and then you would provide value and have a call to action. So if we were to like kind of craft a hook, so it would be, it's something along the lines, right? Has this ever happened to you? And then, maybe it could showcase,
cut to,
being like,
where do you want to go?
Yeah, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? It's like, and then it's like the sweat dripping down, it's like, well, there's a solution. There's an app for that, right? It's Grubby Hubby, pull it up, and then you do a demonstration of that app, and it would showcase, so just ask these simple questions, right? Like how does this type of sound? It's like, oh, that sounds good. Okay, answer. Oh, I've got the perfect place for you. It's going to be this, XYZ place down the street, or whatever. I know you're over there in New Orleans. So it's crawfish, spot or whatever.
Stereotypical, whatever.
I love I go to New Orleans for the what is it? I think you probably know a better spot than this, but because this is probably the tourist spot. But it's the Boil, seafood or whatever. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's worth the trip itself. So,
oh yeah.
But anyways,
it's fair. That's why people come here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love it, but there's also a lot of other cool things too. But anyways, that was. But let's say it's like, oh, that's what you should do. And so then you say, so you click the link right here on the screen, and you're gonna be able to sign up for our free trial. And the first recommendation is on us or whatever.
Nice.
And so that's kind of the way. So you basically pull them in with the hook. Maybe a relatable piece of information. It's kind of a funny example here, but it really is a good example. And then you educate, you showcase the app in motion, and then you have a clear call to action at the end to get people to go and download it. And then the link just leads directly to the App Store.
Yeah. Okay. So back office-y, how do we target to make sure we're hitting the hubbies and the grubbies?
Yeah.
Not going to call her grubby. That's
I love it.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you would go in, and you'd also need to know, and for this app, you would, I think you'd probably be targeting exactly more like the men with the app, right? So it's like, okay, so you would target the demographics, right? Okay. Men, you can actually do married is a specific targeting option you can do. If there's an age range you think is valuable, you can do that. Those are the basics, United States, right? So some of the basics. But then what you can do is you can actually get a little bit more specific. So you can go in and target based on what people are searching for on YouTube, searching for on Google, the types of content that they're watching. So, I think that there's a couple, and then you test different avenues. So I think there's a couple avenues that would work. There's the more serious, like people are actually kind of searching or watching content around how to, potentially avoid arguments, or how to, or how to know what restaurant to pick. I mean, that's very specific, but there's probably some content on YouTube about that, and you could target that content, or people searching for that. But then I think also, if we're genuinely trying to promote an app like this, you go for the comedic market. You can target people watching funny videos, because I think if we're actually being serious about an app idea like that for a second, I think it's almost like a comedy element, right? It's like somebody downloads it as like, can you believe
this will be funny to ask her?
It's like, and so then you would target people watching, comedian-based channels. You try and see. The other thing is you'd also maybe do some research around what channels would be a good fit for that, right? Are there channels that talk about relationship, kind of comedy back and forth, things like that. And
relationship side.
Exactly. And so then you could target that. And so that's kind of how you would go into the targeting side, or search terms that people are looking up, or sites that people might be going to.
Yes. You got kind of relationship, foodies, and comedy.
Exactly.
Make sure there. All right. We might have to talk about Grubby Hubby later.
There you go.
We might have the right market. It can sync with other food apps. So when you're going on a date, it automatically sends a questionnaire. I'm going to stop. Someone's going to steal it. So give me a company you guys worked with that just had a wonderful product. They had something that they could really run with, but they just didn't understand this side of it. And it blew up as soon as you guys took over.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good question. And well, I think that, one great example that I love to use is, and this is kind of going out of the app side, but it's actually good to have different ones, is Jared Ernie. And he's got a business kind of that helps local businesses with their Google review profile. He's got a service where he goes in and does that. And he was trying different ways to get in front of people, like Facebook ads, different types of ads. And it wasn't quite working the way that he wanted. And he came to us, kind of at a spot where he needed to figure out how to get his marketing to work for himself. So he actually knew how to help local businesses with their Google review profile. But beyond like the businesses that he had, he needed to actually go and like figure out how to market his services, to the local businesses that needed him. And so what we were able to do is work with him to craft a value-driven video that talks about how one of the most important assets to your business, for local businesses, is your Google review profile. Mm-hmm. And, if you're neglecting your Google review profile, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. And then he starts talking about, did you know that you can optimize to get more reviews and to actually rank higher in search results and to get more 5-star reviews by doing a few simple things? He actually gives a little bit of value and gives some tips, and then has a call to action that basically says, hey, we can audit your Google review profile and give you a custom game plan and strategy for how to rank better in Google Maps, which is going to make a huge difference to those local businesses.
Yeah.
And so, and by the way, I'm paraphrasing. Obviously, his ad is way better than I just described it there, but that's kind of a general idea. And so then, he was able to go out and run that and, very quickly scale up his business and his overall way of serving people to over $100,000 a month, as a small business, scaling up to, basically $1 million, service business from the YouTube ads that we helped him build out. So that's a good example of somebody that, kind of was able to take this idea, something that he could work with other businesses. Because prior to that, I believe he was in like more of a billboard kind of space. He had his own like local business, and then he had this ability to help people rank on Google search and with their profile. But he just needed to get that message out to people. And so that's a great example of somebody came in that got some pretty great results.
Yeah. Do you think, and obviously you'll know more, but do you feel like there are times that your Facebook ads might do just as good, if not better than YouTube, or is it always just back to YouTube? And if so, why? What's the thing that they're missing with Facebook?
That's a great question. So it is, what we've seen is that YouTube ads really outperform most of the time. Now, there are some times with some clients where Facebook ads might outperform. And I think when that happens, it is more, well, also, depends on it. Like before somebody's a client, they might not know how to set things up on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the way that we
quality on both, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So just to clarify, right? So people might not see that in their own thing, but a lot of people know how to run Facebook ads better than YouTube. So if you're kind of operating Facebook at like an 8 out of 10, and you're operating YouTube at a 3 out of 10, well, you're probably not going to get as good of results.
Yeah.
But when you can actually really operate YouTube at a 9 or 10 out of 10, then you can perform the equivalent, better than the equivalent on Facebook. And the reason that we've seen that is because of the intent, right? So people are going on YouTube to learn, to watch videos.
Yeah.
Sound is on, video's on. Think about Facebook and Instagram ads, right? You can scroll past that so fast. The YouTube ad, you have to watch the first 5 seconds, and 95% of the time sound is on. It's the opposite on Facebook. It's like 90% of the time sounds off when people are scrolling. So yeah, there could be captions, but it's just not going to capture people's attention the same way. The other thing is Google's run studies that brand recall is so much higher on YouTube. There's this effect, it's almost like seeing something on TV, right? There's this effect of seeing a video, hearing a voice, that just builds this know, like, and trust the more times you have it. So you can probably more readily think of YouTube ads that you've seen, even if you haven't interacted with them, than a Facebook ad that you scrolled past quickly. So that's another thing to think about as well.
So YouTube algo tends to re-put it in your face versus like Instagram, where you may or may not, unless you actually interact with it, you're probably not going to get it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's give or take, like it depends on how they're targeting it. So I don't want to overgeneralize that answer, but with YouTube, they have so much, they have more data points to target than Facebook.
Fair.
Because they have all of Google search, they have all your searches, they have YouTube, the things that you're clicking on, the things that you're watching, the things that you're searching. They're the largest and second largest search engine with Google and YouTube. They also have Google Chrome, which basically just anything you do on Google Chrome is part of the terms and conditions. You just click accept. They can see all the sites you go to. Google Analytics is installed on over 52% of all websites online, which means that they're tracking all the sites that you're going to. So they just have, and they have Gmail. People forget about Gmail. Gmail's free. There's a reason it's free. They're collecting data. So all of these things, like Google has more data points than Facebook. What I will say, Facebook ads are easier to set up as a beginner than YouTube ads and Google ads. Okay. And that's why we exist, by the way, too, is to,
sure.
But I'll admit that, and that's why a lot of people go, and there's more information online about Facebook. Now I'm looking to change that with YouTube, but basically that's why a lot of people gravitate towards it, because it's easier and it's kind of got this network effect of a lot of people talk about it, and it works, but there's an opportunity to get better results on the YouTube side.
Now that we're bringing AI in, give me some, because obviously that's kind of changing the game altogether, but tell me how, what are we doing with this?
So there's two big ways, and I'll talk about AI in the video side in a second, because we've been experimenting a lot with Google VO3 to create AI generated videos. Really, really exciting. That's on the very cutting edge. But what I've also been doing is, for the last 4 years, since AI became more prevalent now, I essentially created a software called keywordsearch.com that does AI ad targeting for YouTube and Google ads. Now, originally, years ago, it wasn't really AI. So it kind of became AI powered over the last few years, as we've been able to plug into OpenAI, the same thing that powers ChatGPT. You can go into their API and use that to essentially AI-ify software. But we developed our own custom software. This isn't just a wrapper on ChatGPT. We developed our own custom software that can scan any website, understand contextually who is the ideal client going to this site and this business, and then guess based on the most popular search terms for somebody that might be likely going to that site, what they may be searching for on YouTube or on Google, websites they might be going to, content that they might be watching on YouTube. And this is a process that used to take hours and you wouldn't even be able to find as deep information. Now you can do it literally in minutes with our software. And that's something that we use internally with our clients. We also have businesses that get the software. We also have agencies that use the software as well. Kind of building the tool that kind of powers this. As I've been a thought leader in the YouTube ad side of things, I wanted to build the software that didn't exist that I wanted to have, and so that's what that does. And so it uses AI for the power.
The power of that, because obviously you don't have, it doesn't have to use, we're not talking about you and your website that we're going to target your ads, which you can, but we're talking about literally going to your competitors and going, beep, thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's crazy. You can do URL affinity audiences based on people going to competitors' websites. You can, target based on people looking up your competitors or going to specific types of channels or content. There's different ways to run ads to those. So more traditionally, we'll do more of the URL audiences or search-based audiences called custom intent audiences. And but there's so many possibilities. And the way we set up our software too, as a one-click sync to Google Ads. So it actually has a direct integration to Google, so you can sync all of your campaigns directly over to Google.
Oh, awesome. So you're not necessarily having to go and implement all these things in the back office. It's helping you put it together right from the bat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's beastly. Wow. That just gave me all kinds of things to think about.
And that's not the only AI thing that we did. So we just released thumbnailcreator.com that does AI YouTube thumbnails. So it will, we've trained it on millions of YouTube thumbnails. So
say that name again.
It's thumbnailcreator.com.
Okay.
I like my good domain, kind of domain.
You can't go wrong.
So there you go. But it's thumbnailcreator.com. It's what it does is it will do AI YouTube thumbnail creation. And we've trained it on millions of the top thumbnails on YouTube in all kinds of different niches. And now it can create really, really good thumbnails with just a simple prompt, a simple description of what the video is about. Yeah. Then we added a lot of different features. So it can actually model your entire face and put your face into thumbnails. We actually just updated the face model too, which is pretty cool. But there's some pretty awesome things you can do.
That's amazing, because I can't tell you how long people spend on just trying to figure out what should the face thing be for this video.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh yeah.
So what do you see for future? Where do you think we're heading? And I was going to say in like 5 years, but let's be real. In like a year, where are we going to be?
So I think what we're going to do, and what I'm looking to be on the cutting edge is as we're doing this, I think we're getting to a spot where AI is going to inject itself into all aspects of advertising. So the video creation, kind of the last thing that hasn't been fully affected is the full AI video creation. That being said, we're almost there. It's crazy. I think that's what's coming in the next year, because right now you can use AI to target the ads. You can use AI to create images and thumbnails. You can use AI to create titles. You can even use AI to write scripts. Although, again, you're just kind of rehashing content. So I am a big advocate for, if you're creating like ads, to usually, kind of have something that is a little bit more unique. So that's why we've got expert copywriters writing scripts for our clients and all that stuff too. But we have an AI YouTube script generator that we've trained on our top 400 YouTube ad scripts. So you can do that as well. And then, but then the video, that was kind of the last thing standing. But now Google VO3 has created a really powerful AI video creation tool where you can type a prompt and create a full AI generated video. And it's scary how powerful it is and how, the actual output that comes from it.
Yeah. Is it still doing like 3-second implements, or are they extended now?
It's 8 seconds now.
8 seconds.
That being said, they're adding features to be able to extend pretty soon. They already have a feature where you can kind of jump to a new scene, but they're going to add features to extend it soon. Then there's other tools like HeyGen where you can build a model of yourself and talk. I actually think, though, that my prediction is Google's going to disrupt them, because Google's already better. Like, you can create an 8-second talking head clip that's kind of better than a HeyGen clip. And I like HeyGen too. I'm not trying to, but like, that's kind of better. It's just limited by length. Right. When Google removes that guardrail of the length, it's game over. It's like, because Google has all of this information. That's why I'm doubling down on Google's things that they're coming out with. And then, by the way, in terms of like, and Gemini is really good too. The thing people don't realize is if you have a G Suite, like a Google G Suite account, so we have that for all of our employees, everybody has Gemini Pro, which is kind of cool. So, my whole team, we use Gemini for business purposes and all of that. And we have some team members have ChatGPT accounts or Claude accounts. And I think they do different things well. But Perplexity is really cool too for research. But Google, they were a little bit late to kind of at least launch with ChatGPT kind of coming out, even though Google have been working on it behind the scenes for a long time. But I think that Google is just going to kind of really be one of the
just because information alone. It's just got access to so much.
Exactly. And then self-driving cars here in Austin too. Like Waymo, I've been in the Waymo. It's crazy. It's a whole new world.
Oh man. Well, I guess I'll see you on the other side, whatever that looks like.
Wherever it goes.
Man, Aleric, thank you so much for hanging out today. So many interesting things to talk about. Hopefully we'll just bring you back on soon, because again, within the next probably 3 to 4 months, there's going to be so much new stuff, especially for you guys. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can definitely find me on all the major social media platforms. Of course, YouTube is my primary platform. So it's just Aleric Heck on YouTube. You can find all my content there. And I also have a gift for everybody watching. If you want to learn how to implement YouTube ads, you can go to adoutreach.com/gift. Got my 19-page YouTube ad strategy PDF completely for free. Adoutreach.com/gift. And then the softwares that I mentioned just for ease, keywordsearch.com is my AI ad targeting software, and thumbnailcreator.com is my AI YouTube thumbnail creation software.
Awesome. Yeah, that one, that was just super cool.
Thank you.
Passing that thing around. I have a lot of influencers around me. You're gonna be like, you can do what? Oh, yeah. So, well, again, man, thank you so much for hanging out. Everybody else, I hope you wrote everything down. If not, just rewatch it when it replays again. And we'll see you guys on the next one.